started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there, the Aki and Wa'akwa. And what I wanted to go into in this lesson is the word dignitary. All right, dignitary. This word has been on my mind the past couple of days. And the reason being, sometimes I like to watch how heads of states, all right, royalty, presidents, things of that nature move, all right. I like to watch how they move, how they operate. I like to watch movies about like kings and kingdoms, like period pieces, about maybe King Henry VIII, King Henry V, even watching like Game of Thrones and shows like Vikings, shows that show how men of nobility move, men of high rank move, how they operate in their kingdom, how they, strategize, how they deal with their women, everything, right? Because we are kings in training. And it started with this word. This word, it matter of fact, the Wadi Yahabashim Yahushua, man, because I ain't even had this queued up. And I hope I'm not all over the place with this lesson, because as I was about to do the lesson, I started thinking of other scriptures. And I just thought of a scripture right here. Oh, that's Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 1. It says the Proverbs of Solomon, the son of David, king of Israel. And we know that Solomon was the wisest king of them all. Verse 2, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to a young man knowledge and discretion. All right. A wise man will hear and will increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. All right. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark saying. All right. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. All right. My son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. All right. For they shall be an ornament of grace unto thy head, and chains about thy neck. Okay. So this just came to mind thinking, because us getting cleaned up is to be future rulers. It start with what? Listening to the instructions of our Father, the Heavenly Father. All right. He gave us the playbook. This is our book. Okay. This is a book of kings. Okay. I remember I was watching the Tudors, and I think it's going into King Henry VIII. And he spoke about the Bible, and he said this is a book for kings. And that's true. We even got First Kings and Second Kings. All right. Even going into the Chronicles and things of that nature. But yeah, this is a book for kings. This is a book to give you what? To receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment and equity. To give subtlety to the simple. We was once simple. All right. The Lord had taken the simple, all right, and cleaning them up. And we will one day be what? Those kings, those God kings, man, those priests. Okay. So I want to look up and let me go back. I keep the word dignitary in my head because I looked it up. All right. Because you might hear it from time to time, but I'll really look up words. And dignitary, it says a person considered to be important because of high rank or office. Okay. And it says, who are considered dignitaries? Dignitaries get a lot of respect because they're important and powerful people in their country. Heads of states, ambassadors, and royalty are all dignitaries. And the reason I been keeping this in my mind, because, I keep it in my mind to remind myself like I'm a dignitary, but not on no cocky-ish, but just to remind myself like I got an important office to do for the Lord. All right. This word has been driving me every time I feel like, I want to do something else, or, you know, I want to, my attention starts swaying. I'll be thinking like, nah, you a dignitary. You gotta do this work. All right. It's important. You work for the king. All right. And when you work for the king, what happened? You're a dignitary. All right. Whatever rank you get from the king. You could be an ambassador, head of state. Like, take Donald Trump. He has, he's a dignitary, but he has dignitaries around him. All right. So he's the president. He have a vice president. He have a secretary of state. All right. He have a cabinet. And everybody in the president's cabinet is important. If you was to go and do some harm to, one of the people in Trump's cabinet, guess what? You're gonna feel the fury of the United States government. All right. Because even though that person is not the president, they're a part of the president's cabinet. And that's why I kept his word in mind. It's like, no, you work for Yahweh Shah. You gotta do this work. So that it kind of keep me like on the straight and narrow, telling myself like, no, you a dignitary. And it keeps you in a mind frame of like, yeah, let me do this work. This is where we got an important office, man. Okay, we got the most important office. Matter of fact, let me get this. Let me get Luke real quick. Let me get, before I get the real deal that I wanted to get, Luke came to my mind. When you get Luke 17:21, it says, neither shall they say, lo here or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you. All right, the kingdom, we already had it, just like the Apostle Ricard said, we already got the kingdom with this knowledge. We got a piece of the kingdom. Brothers is operating in a kingly fashion. All right, because why? A lot of brothers that's teaching the word is what? the future, the real dignitary. They dignitaries not, because the Lord chose them to preach this word and truth. The brothers that's teaching the truth and sincerity. All right. And when they get, somebody going to do it to the end. All right. Somebody got to be the 144K. And those going to be the real dignitaries. They're going to be the real ambassadors, the real royalty, the real head of states. Now, we know Israel as a whole is a royal people. But even in a royal people, you have, like it said, a person considered to be important because of high rank in office. All right. So Israel itself is royalty, but then you have ranks, you have levels. Okay. No, you ain't gonna be over King David. All right. So it's like, you ain't gonna be over Yahweh Shah. All right. Nobody in the 144K is over King David, is what I'm saying. So it's levels. You know what I'm saying? You got the 144K, which is dignitaries, they high ranking. But then you got King David, who he over there, you know what I'm saying? Then you got Yahweh Shah, and you got the 12. All right. So it's levels, is what I'm saying. I want to get this though. Wait, let me see. I might be jumping the gun. Let me see. Let me get, you know what? The spirit might be. Oh, I got to get it. I'm going to just get it. All right. Because it's a point I want to make while I'm speaking about it. Now, when you go to Exodus 6 and verse 29, it says that the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, I am the Lord, Yahweh. I am Yahweh. All right. Speak thou unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that I say unto you. See, told Moses to speak to the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, what I say. All right. Because the Most High is over everybody and everything. And Moses said before the Lord, behold, I am of uncircumcised lips, and how shall Pharaoh hearken unto me? Like, how this king gonna hearken unto me? I'm just a little dog. Exodus 7:1. And the Lord said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a guide to Pharaoh. See, Let me read that again. Exodus 7:1. And the Lord said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh. Why was Moses a god to that king, to a Pharaoh? Because he was a dignitary of Yahweh, man. He was sent by Yahweh. Ain't nothing bigger than that. So it don't matter what rank, you know what I'm saying, uh, you know, the king of Egypt had. Just like take Trump. All right. Trump, he's the high rank. We already know. Let's say the elites. Well, when the Lord sent brothers out to speak these words, he making the brothers a guide to the elites, a guide to the Rothschilds, a guide to the Rockefellers, a guide to the Trumps, and whoever else. He making brothers a guide. Why? All right, because we speaking his words. All right, continuing on to verse 1, Exodus 7:1. And Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. All right, thou shalt speak all that I command thee. And Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh that he send the children of Israel out of his land. Right, and that is happening again. All right, we're Esau is the modern day Pharaoh. All right, and we're sent to speak to the Pharaoh and get our people out of the land, starting with this word spiritually, until Yahweh Shah physically come get us up out of this land. See, so he said he made him a god to Pharaoh. Like Pharaoh's nothing compared to you. You got my word. So how can he compare? Okay, let's go here to let's go. And this is how we gotta think, brothers. All right, we gotta think of ourselves as royalty, man. I feel like, not to be cocky, but hey, you shouldn't be moping around and thinking yourself as nothing. All right, because you something, man. When you speaking the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man, you teaching. Even the believers. All right. The scriptures say if you believe on the prophet, you should get a prophet reward. If you believe on the righteous, you should get the reward. And roughly paraphrasing, you get the reward of the righteous. All right. So the believers, you know what I'm saying? Brothers teaching is over Trump. Trump ain't got these words. Brothers that's teaching is over the Rothschilds. All right. Over them. All the way until we get to the kingdom where we really is going to be over them, having our foots on their neck. Let's get Jeremiah 3, starting at verse 14. It says, turn, O backsliding children, saith the Lord, for I am married unto you, and I will take you one out of a city and two of a family, and will bring you to Zion. See, the elect is few. Just like you have more people just on the planet Earth that's not really dignitaries. You got a few dignitaries, and then you got the common folk. It's always been like that. Okay? That's why the elect is the 1/3. We know 2/3 is bigger than the 1/3. Okay? Verse 15, and I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So the Lord got his own pastors out here. Like, you got T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar and whoever else you want to name of these sellouts that be on TV that's, not really preaching the word. All right. But even a broke clock is right 2 times a day. But at the same time, all the rest of the hours they wrong. So, you might have one of them. They might say, they is coming out the Bible. So they might say something that's right. But overall, they not teaching. They not teaching the word in its purest form. That's why the Lord put his dignitaries out there. He put his officials out there, his ambassadors, his heads of state, his people that's of importance. He put his own pastors out there to bring Israel into this word. Okay? Let's go from there to Ezekiel chapter 3, starting at verse 4. And he said unto me, son of man, go thee unto the house of Israel and speak with my words unto them. You notice the common thing is my words. When you speak in the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, guess what? You automatically is a dignitary. When you speak in his word in its purest form, you automatically a dignitary, man. You teaching the right way, you a dignitary. All right. And I mean, when you got a high rank, you gotta do that work, man. Okay. Verse 5, it says, "For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel." Meaning you got brothers in all types of walks of life that can communicate with different brothers and sisters. Okay, you might, because everybody gonna resonate with a certain teacher. Okay, you got brothers from, been in the streets to all the way to brothers that was not in the streets. Okay, and people gonna resonate would they resonate to. The Lord have made His word easily available and easily to understand for the elect. Okay, for the elect. You got brothers that can speak different languages. You got brothers doing it in sign languages. I mean, it's not like this word just going out and everybody doing it in French. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, what is he saying? No, you got all different type of languages and the style of language. You got brothers that with the slang and that's just like me and you come from the same hoods and backgrounds and all that. Then you got so you can resonate. The Lord know what He was doing. He put His dignitary out there. He said, "I'm gonna bring pastors according to mine." Okay, heart. Roughly paraphrasing. Verse 6, it says, "Not to many people of a strange speech and of a hard language whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee." Yeah, hard-headed Jake, man, don't want to listen. But only the elect, only that remnant gonna turn back. Verse 7, "But the house of Israel," let me see if I'm jumping the gun. Nope. "But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads." Meaning, yeah, brothers, you're going to have that incredulity out there. Okay? But brothers going to still keep going. No matter how much, they still going to keep going. No matter how much backlash, no matter how much, Jake in the world be talking ish. Guess what? The Lord made brothers' foreheads strong against theirs. So a brother ain't just gonna, somebody gonna be like, "Man, I don't believe that. Man, that's junk. No, that junk, that's a lie, man." And then brothers be like, "Man, all right, man, forget it. I'll quit." No, brothers gonna keep going. Gonna keep going no matter what. All right, verse 8, "Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads." Okay, "As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house." Okay, this is because brothers is dignitaries. Brothers is the dignitaries of the Lord, man. All right, brothers is important, man. Okay, imagine if brothers wasn't teaching. Man, we'd just be through. We'd still be through. Okay? I mean, the Lord could do it another way, but this is the way He chose. All right, with the snap of a finger, the Lord can just wake up Israel and, you know what I'm saying? Or could have made us, go to war with Esau and, unite and start building weapons and doing these. And the Lord could have did it many ways to take down Esau. But this is the way. It's starting with this word all the way until Yahweh shall come back. Verse 10, "Moreover, He said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thine heart, and hear with thine ears, and go, get thee to them of the captivity unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, Thus saith the Lord power, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear." Right. So we teach whether you hear or forbear, meaning if you believe or not, we still gonna keep going. Ain't nothing gonna be like, make us be like, "You know what, man, I think they right, man. They right. Esau can make it." No. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, brothers is convinced, is what I'm saying. We convinced Esau going into slavery. We convinced we the Israelites. We convinced this is the truth. All right. We convinced that the kingdom is Yahweh on His way and He bringing the kingdom. We convinced of these things, man. All right. We can't be unconvinced. All right. Unless the Lord wants us to, but other than that, you know what I'm saying? But hey, Lord willing, we endure. All right. Let me get this. And you notice again, the common thing is the Lord saying, what? Speak my words. Speak his words. Speak my words. And when you speak in his words, you a dignitary. You a person of importance, of high rank or office. And we gotta fulfill our office. And that's why the word dignitary been stuck in my mind. Again, every time I'm like, man, let me watch the game, and I'll be like, nope, that ain't what a dignitary would do. That's not what a man, cause you gotta think like these people who are in these high ranking officials, ambassadors, head of states, they work and work and work, man. They constantly working. All right. Like Putin. Let's take him. He's working. Trump, he's working. All right, because he has a country to run. He has a kingdom to run. And we got to start right now. You know, I heard brothers keep preaching how we got to get in our mind. All right. Well, you know, if you a ruler, you working. Now, you do have your downtime where you chilling, because you ain't supposed to just be working 24 hours. But you do spend your time researching, doing this, figuring this out, that's what a man of high rank can do. When you a king, you ain't just laid up on your leaves. You have kings that, you know, in history that's been hard workers, grinders, soldiers. And then you have kings that, you know, all they did was deal with women, drink themselves away. And guess what? Those type of kings don't stay on the throne long. All right. You got to be, you know, you got to be somewhat austere in this thing, man. You got to kind of have your head on straight. And that's why the scriptures preach about things in moderation. And that's a thing that I'm trying to get better at practicing moderation, whether it be like sipping on some yan or just, you know, scrolling on the phone or doing little things. I'm trying to get into that zone of like, nah, man, you got work to do. And best believe the Lord said, what, 100-fold, man. I'm trying to get that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to be at the table with Yahushua and improve myself, man. But I got to work, improve myself, and I want to do it. That's why I keep putting in my mind like dignitary. Nah, dignitaries don't do that. Dignitaries, they'll be working. They'll be, you know, they might plan out their day. They do this for an hour. They do this for 2 hours. They go to sleep. They wake up. You know, you got to think like a royal, man. All right. And it start with this word. Let me get this. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and verse 20. It says, therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. All right. If your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Right. We got to honor this wisdom. We got to toil. We got to sup with Sophia, man. And then the Lord in turn will sup with us, man. When he see us, you know, trying to do better, he'll sup with you, man. All right. Let me get this. Lord willing, this is uplifting and edifying. When you go to Revelation 2 and verse 25, it says what? But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. All right. So we hold this word fat until Yahushua come, man. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, man. Again, you can't even fathom having power over the nations. Well, start right now with moving like a ruler, man. Doing your work in the spirit, doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be teaching, reading, studying, looking up stuff, doing all of the above. All right. Doing your thing, man. A ruler don't just play all day, man. No, he got important things to do. When you see somebody that's wealthy, they grind for that. All right. I'm talking about the person that built the car. I ain't talking about like the spoiled kids. I'm talking about the actual person that built an empire. He grind or she grind. All right. That person grind for that. They put in a whole lot of work. It's the whole saying, you work hard, play hard. Okay. And Lord willing, you know, we be the elect and grind hard. And in the kingdom, we can play hard, man. Okay. But in the kingdom, we still might have certain responsibilities. I don't know how it's gonna be. I doubt if we gonna be just like, oh, it's 8 o'clock, we gotta go to work from 2 to 7. But what I'm saying is, hey, it's still it's a kingdom, man. I don't know. I'm just speaking as a man. Don't quote me on none of this, but you know, hey, a kingdom. Again, we might have certain little responsibilities. Because number one, we gonna have to implement the law, statutes, and commandments on these other nations. Because Israel, we are gonna be embedded with the law. All right, we gonna have it in us, but these other nations ain't. So we will have to exact judgment. All right, and that will be a responsibility. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let me get this. And you brothers, again, you important. Because check this out. Revelation, starting at verse 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. And I believe, some brothers I listen to is part of that 144K, man. I just got to believe, man. And I hope brothers is, man. I hope brothers that I listen to is part of the 144K, man. Verse 2, and I heard a voice from heaven as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man can learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed for the earth. So you got the brothers teaching that new song, man. This word is that part of that new song, man. I believe brothers I'll be listening to is part of that 144K, man. You know what I'm saying? Dignitary, special. Part of that new government. The new rulers, man. The real rulers that's about to rule, man. Of course, not over Yahweh Shai and things of that nature. But, brothers will be joint heirs. Brothers will be dignitaries of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man. Meaning brothers going to have their own portion. All right? Brothers going to be head of the state. Brothers going to be royalty kings, man. Okay? Which makes them a dignitary. And it starts right now. Okay? It starts right now. Even the scriptures tell us what? Let me get this right quick. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12, it says what? I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. See? More precious than fine gold. You got some fine gold in your crib, brothers, gonna be more precious than that. And who is that man? The man of the Lord speaking his word. Okay? That's who gonna be the man that's more precious than that fine gold. Why? Because he's important. He's a dignitary. All right? He's a dignitary. Let's go here. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge, this wisdom and knowledge, all right, shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? Brothers is dignitary, high rank. That's why in the time of trouble, brothers is going to be stable because they got what? The wisdom and the knowledge. Okay? The wisdom and the knowledge. All right? And this wisdom is going to bring brothers to a kingdom. A real kingdom is going to, a literal kingdom. All right? Right now, brothers is at the bottom, but we still dignitary in our own essence until all the way till we real royal, man. All right, brothers really going to be royal, having crowns, getting that respect. These heathens bowing down. All right. That's what it's about, man. And that's what brothers is going to get. And Lord willing, I could be a part of that number. But somebody got to be a part of that number. And, hey, man, I just feel like, certain men going to be a part of that number that I listen to. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be thankful for that. Like, man, Lord willing, I'm the elect. You know what I'm saying? If I ain't even a 144K, I don't want to put out a negative vibe, but hey, I feel like I'm a 144K. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I know, yeah. You know what I'm saying? To make me be like, hey, if you know a high ranking brother, hey, you gonna get in the area. The Israelite man, period, gonna get that respect. But I'm just saying, like, you might know. It's just like say if you knew, LeBron James or Shaquille O'Neal, or you knew somebody, or even if you knew, a mayor or a governor, right? Then guess what? You might be able to get out of situations, or you might get certain treatments, or they might put you up on certain game about things. You know what I'm saying? And then you might be around them and get a certain amount of respect because you're around them. That's what I'm saying. All right. If you walk around with LeBron James in this world, you know what I'm saying? And I'm speaking as a man, and you a dude, and you with LeBron, you gonna be able to get girls because you around LeBron. They gonna be like, who is this dude around LeBron? LeBron be like, hey man, talk to my homeboy. Then they gonna talk. Y'all get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You might be in a monetary jam, and if you cool with LeBron, he might throw you a couple dollars to get you out of that jam. You know what I'm saying? So, me just like, I'm just in the mind frame of like, man, I feel like I'll be learning from, part of the 144K, starting with even like Apostle Tahar, all the apostles, man, Apostle Kabar, they've been having this word for a very, very long time, man. A very, very long time, man. They somebody, man. They probably ain't just, they more than likely ain't just, regular dudes that's just gonna be in the kingdom, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey. Hey, man, we got to have faith in that, man. Dignitary, man. We dignitaries, man. You know what I'm saying? 2nd Esdras 2. All right. And I'm going to start at verse 42. It says, so I asked the angel and said, sir, what are these? And he answered and said unto me, these be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Yep. That's what's going to literally happen to brothers. All right. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God, whom they have confessed to the world. Yahweh Shah, man. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Going back to Ezekiel, when he said, I made your forehead hard against their foreheads. That's them brothers that stood stiffly, man. All right. Then the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell thy people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen. All right. So this is what's going to happen. Brothers going to get crowned, man. And then they going to be the real true dignitaries in the kingdom, man. All right, a part of the government, those high-ranking officials, those head of states, ambassadors, brothers gonna have different positions, own different lands, have wives, have all type of, get the perks, man, for grinding, for keeping the faith, for all of that, man. And it was already just written who those brothers was gonna be before the earth was, man. So, dignitary, man. I just keep it in my mind to, kind of keep me on a path of grinding and staying in a kingly mindset, okay? And Lord willing, this is uplifting. Lord willing, this was a spirit booster for somebody, for a brother out there, all right? Until the next time, shalom.